All right, there we go. All right, Representative Dortch, how are you today?
Good. How you doing?
I am great. I am great. Thank you for coming on. It was very easy to contact you. I have tried to contact other people in positions, and it has been way harder. But it was as simple as just hitting you up on Twitter. So I was very happy about that.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm my staff. Somebody called me one time and said, "I thought I was gonna get your secretary. We don't have any staff. I'm the secretary. I'm my communications person. I'm everything. So
Okay,
uh,
okay.
we should all be good, easy to get a hold of. So I'm happy to do it and happy to talk with you.
A very grassroots effort, as they would say. All right. So, for people that's not exactly in the know, I wanted to do this podcast because of the presidential election is coming up. Mississippi is a very interesting place where we have a very large base of Republicans, but we also have a large Democratic base. But we have a lot of people who might be disillusioned with the party right now and everything like that, especially with some things that happened in the past week on the national scale. If you would, and I see you wearing the Joe Biden shirt now.
Yeah, my wife ordered this for me a couple of weeks ago, so I told her I put it on tonight. So
Okay. So,
she's had a crush on Joe Biden for some reason.
oh, really, old Joe. All right.
Yes, still your man, still your woman, Joe. So.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently. All right. So, if you would, can you explain what the House of Representatives is, or who they are?
Yeah, so the Mississippi House is made up of 122 districts. We all represent basically 25,000 people. The districts are drawn every 10 years based on the census, based on a number of things where they try to have the communities stay together. And I have in my district neighborhoods from South Jackson, Byram, Terry, Utica, and Raymond. So it's a very diverse district that sometimes the district lines or they don't seem to have any kind of point where you could have somebody living right across the street that's in your district, and on the other side you're in another district. But those 122 members are elected every 4 years, and we serve 4-year terms. There are no term limits. We come in at the beginning of the year for the first session, for a session that lasts 90 days. The first session of a new term, which we're in right now, lasts 125 days. And the Speaker of the House is the person that runs the House of Representatives, and he is elected from members of the House. So he needs 62 votes to be elected Speaker. And right now we have about 75 Republicans and about 40, on a good day, about 43 Democrats, something like that. So they have a super majority in the House, and we work from 90 to 125 days. We're in committees. We work on the House floor. That's the makeup of our Mississippi legislature, and on the other side is the state Senate.
Okay, and so what's the difference between the House and the Senate?
So the Senate is made up of 52 districts, and they represent about, I think, just under 60,000 people every district. So they represent more people. Their districts are bigger. They serve the same amount of time, but there are fewer of them. So they look at it as they have more clout since it's fewer. But they serve under the lieutenant governor, who is elected statewide. And lieutenant governor is essentially the leader of the state Senate. And he makes committee appointments. He decides what's going to be on the floor agenda. He's basically the Speaker of the House over there, but he has a term limit. He's elected statewide, so it's a bit of a different dynamic because our Speaker is elected by the House Republicans, basically, because they have such a big majority. The Lieutenant Governor is elected by everybody in Mississippi, so there's a bit of a different dynamic in what they think about and what motivates them.
Okay, and right now our Speaker of the House is Philip Gunn, and our Lieutenant Governor is Delbert Hoseman.
Yeah.
Okay, both Republicans.
both Republicans. This is Delbert's first term as lieutenant governor.
Okay.
And this is the start of the third term for Philip Nell.
Okay. Okay. So, how did you decide to get into politics? Because you actually started off as a attorney, correct?
Yeah, so I was doing healthcare policy and health law work for an organization called the Mississippi Health Advocacy Program here in Jackson. And a lot of my work around 2012, 2013 had to do with the ACA and Medicaid expansion. And I spent a lot of time at the Capitol trying to work on those policy ideas. And I was disappointed in my representation, not only the Republican side, but the Democrats that I spoke with about different things as far as healthcare policy. And, I got it in my head where either I could feel like I'm just going to complain and bitch and moan about this, or I'm going to run for office. And I decided to run for office and put myself out there. It's not something I wanted to do. And it's, when I say run for office, I wanted to run for the legislature. I think you need to be specific in, what these jobs are and why you're running for them, because they're different jobs. It's different to be a legislator than to be a supervisor or a city councilman or the mayor. You have different responsibilities, and you really need to understand that and focus on that. I thought being a legislator was good for me because of my attention to policy and, wanting to build a better Democratic base in the House of Representatives. And that's what led me to run.